God, man. Do you know what this means? This Skiddo's gonna be turned upside down, I tell you, upside down. If you get on his bad side, brother, you're done for. Now, it's only a matter of time before he finds out, and when he does, no matter where he is, get ready, gentlemen, because hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming, hell's a-coming.
You think you're the best? I hope you are. A Gundam mobile suit is a fully articulated, fully equipped machine, armed with the most sophisticated weaponry known to man. To be a complete Gundam pilot, you must train on both Gundam systems. Believe me, gentlemen, to beat the best, you have to be the best.
In a world where podcasting is king, you are listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
Where's Sumire?
She went home.
She said she only came here to see that you were all right.
Damn, the babe's leaving already.
You didn't tell her anything about me, did you?
Let's see, I think I mentioned that you're so behind that you needed to take summer classes or else you'd fail out. And of course I let her know that you had severe diarrhea last night. You got a problem with that?
All right, everybody, welcome back to Gundam at MAHQ. This is one of your hosts, Neo, and joining me always is the Soul Bro and the Chris.
Oh, shit. Welcome to the show, everybody, man. And thank you for tuning in. Oh, shit, that's our time, man. Thank you and good night.
What?
I'm kidding, of course. Thank you for listening, everybody. I want to give shout-outs to those who tuned in early. Yazi, Robin, Frank Lawson, Jeff, GM Morgan, and those are all the names I see. But and Dalo, thank you for tuning in on Twitch. It's good to see you guys. And over to Chris, man. Chris, how you doing?
You know, we're talking about this movie, so I guess that's how we're doing.
Exciting.
Oh no, what movie is that? Oh man, yeah. This is episode 299.
Robot Jacks, right?
Yes.
Robot Jacks.
It's about time.
Doing it. About time.
No, man, that's next episode.
Yeah, that's 300.
Yes.
You let the surprise out, man. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Ruin everything, man. Fuck.
Yeah. We are going to be talking in this episode. We're going to be doing a movie review of a Gundam movie that came out recently. The long-awaited, like 20 years. You know, you're talking. You know, so many things have happened. It was kind of announced way back in the day. Gundam Seed Freedom. Yes. Definitely something that came out a couple months ago in the movie theaters here in America. But unfortunately, I missed it, so we had to wait until it came out on Netflix, so I could watch it. And so yes, Gundam Seed Freedom, and we thought, you know, we need kind of an expert to talk to us about the Gundam Seed universe, because you know we've been kind of out of it for a while. So it's been a while, been a long time. It's basically. I guess what SBR. This is your rival here.
Yo, that's the kin to my Ryu, man. That's
that's the kin.
That's the demon. That's my demon right there. He's in the building, man.
Go. Yep, you good old General Hate. So Austin, General Hate, how you been? It's been a while. Been long time. So
guys, it's been a long time getting from here to there, man.
Yeah, when was the last time you were on?
It's a long road, dude.
Let's see.
How long ago?
It had to be the episode I was impersonating Sobro.
Oh my, episode 100?
Funny you mentioned that.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Is that true?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's the last time.
We're about to hit 300, dude. What the fuck?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I guess better
man.
late than never, right?
I'm tripping.
Been a while.
What are you gonna do on that? So
that is mad long. Holy
welcome.
shit!
Welcome. That's it. So you're like the Gundam Seed Freedom movie. I saw you a long time ago.
Oh, I'm done. Yo, good shit. Oh,
but welcome.
Thank you.
Sorry, Yazi. Seed Freedom. Yeah. Did I say last year? I thought I said earlier this year. Yazi's correcting it. I thought I said earlier this year. Didn't I say that? Or
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Let's go to the tape. No, that's fine.
Let's run it back.
Well, thank you. Welcome, Austin. Welcome, General. We can't wait to hear some of your hate coming out.
So much.
Yeah. Direct some of it at Soulbro. He needs it.
You bet.
He needs to stay sharp. But
I mean,
you bet.
It's just an easy target when I see Sobro.
Yo, no doubt. Yo, real quick, shout outs to Cine Gang Soup for the fam. They write, hello peeps, I started listening when you folks reviewed Gundam Age. Wow, holy shit. Good to hear from you guys again. Yo, Cine Gang, man. Damn, you've been listening for a minute, man. Good times. Yo, shout outs to Dalo. He says he hates those war orphans. All right, the consistency.
Oh, war orphans,
man.
I love the war orphans.
Guys, anything as I saunter over for some the Larry King Memorial News Studio for some Neo's Listeners Minute News? Chris, anything? Any banning happening tonight? I mean,
I think there might have to be some bannings based on things that are said tonight.
Yay!
But, you can also check out my review of Freedom on MAHQ, which I posted yesterday after it took me forever to write the damn thing up and having to watch this movie a second time. So there you go. Go check it out.
It's right here.
The rating will be the same as what I say here. So
no surprises.
No surprises there.
And they're not going to catch you, right?
-5 stars.
And if you guys have never been, go ahead. Sorry.
Negative.
If you guys have never been, please visit mahq.net. That's where the magic happens. That's the Mecha Anime headquarters. As you guys can see, I just put a link in the chat. A link to the article that will take you to the review for Gundam Seed Freedom. Read that at your leisure and provide feedback if you wish. But thank you very much, and much props to those who are watching tonight here on youtube.com/Gundam MAHQ. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please do. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. Or if you might be watching over on twitch.tv/FightersReady, you can hit the follow button there. Don't subscribe on Fighters Ready. I don't stream often enough to take your money, so just hit that follow button so you'll be alerted when we go live with Gundam. Other than that, I do have a request. If you guys do want to support me, please visit my website, Vermilion Royale. That's VERMILION Royale.com. I just updated it recently with a bunch of new concept artwork for the book that I'm writing. I'm actually working on the 3rd rewrite right now. And because I'm out of work. But if anything, make sure to visit the website. I'll put the link in the chat in a minute. But I just uploaded a bunch of character art for the book, as well as character profiles. So if you guys want to find out what the characters are about in the book, you're more than welcome to check that out. And I'd be very grateful that you did. Also follow on Twitter or if you have X, which I don't recommend it. But if you do follow, you can find it on Facebook or X at Vermilion Royale as well. And thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. That's all I got, Neo.
All right. What's wrong with X, man? Where am I going to get my nice revisionist history from?
Who knows?
The good old thing of like Churchill was the villain. Really? Wait, huh?
Oh my god.
Weird. Oh my god. But yes, back to some Neo's listener submitted news. Yes, and if you ever have any articles, always go to the Neo's listener submitted news articles thread in the Gundam section of the Mecha Talk forum. The first one here comes from Rodimus76, and he's got a link here about James Cameron confirms that he's still working on his classified Terminator project.
Ooh.
So I have heard about this here and there. I know that there's a Terminator anime on Netflix now.
Terminator Zero.
I heard people say that's not. I've heard I guess it's some people are liking it. So, but about a year ago, James Cameron was writing a new Terminator movie. He explained the project's heavily inspired by AI before he finishes it. So, I guess he's still kind of working on it. So, I mean, quite frankly, I'm kind of tired of Terminator, but I mean, there's been so many bad installments of it, and so it's I don't know. You guys looking forward to this? I mean, it's James Cameron, so it's going back to the OG. So maybe if anybody can do something well with it, it'd probably be him. I'm sure.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it when I'm 60.
Can't wait.
That's true, because he's got about 19 more Avatar movies to do.
He does, and about 14 more documentaries about the ocean to do.
Yeah. So,
oh man,
Chris, you excited? I know you love the Terminator, right?
There is something to be said about stopping at a certain point. Most of the sequels were dreadful, but I will die on the hill and say that Dark Fate was actually a really good movie, and
I agree with
the
you.
real Terminator 3 that we should have gotten, and they should have just been left at that, and not any of that other direct that came out between Judgment Day and Dark Fate. And I haven't seen the TV show, the one from way back with Lena Headey. I hear it's good, but is anybody out there really jonesing for more Terminator? It's okay to let things go.
Yeah.
It's okay
you weren't
to
a fan
not
of Salvation?
exploit IP over and over again.
Yeah.
I
agree. What was that?
No, I was saying you weren't a fan of Salvation?
No, not at all. That movie was shit. Rise of the Machines was shit. I didn't even see Genesis, but it was already awful looking from the trailer and just the idea. So,
from what I heard, Genesis is the worst one out of them all, though, right?
It seems like it.
Yeah,
but
that
at least
Rise of the
Salvation
Machines.
gave us that wonderful, anecdote of Christian Bale going nuts like, "Oh, you a fucking professional?"
Oh yeah, that's right, with the lights. Oh my god, the light guy got ripped.
Yeah, that's from that movie.
It sure is.
I mean,
probably the most
I
acting he did in that movie was that tirade.
I personally like Salvation, so I actually prefer out of after Judgment Day, I prefer that one out of all the ones they did after that.
Have you seen it recently? It doesn't really hold up. That's the problem with Salvation. I didn't think it was too bad when it came out either, but it's come on recently, and I've kind of watched it, and I'm like, this is kind of stupid. It just and Chris is right. Christian Bale's acting, and he could kind of phone it in on this one.
Damn.
But all right. Well, MCT Dread comes back with. Oh man, I know this. I know this was a big topic of discussion out there. I don't want too much into it, but yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the Star Wars show, The Acolyte, was canceled for season 2. So, what was the official reason? What's the official reason they said here? Let me look at the article.
The reason you probably could guess, but hopefully,
what was it? Tax breaks.
They were waiting for the Nielsen ratings to come in, or the ratings overall to come in before they made a decision. They were soft they had soft greenlit season 2, so they're starting to get the writers together to come up with the scripts for season 2. But once they got those hard numbers, that was it. They canned it over that weekend. Once they got the final numbers, it takes a while, maybe sometimes weeks after the shows finish airing before they have like the solid numbers for the ratings. And once they did get them, Disney said no mas and shut that down, and to a lot of dismay of the fans that they gathered for the show. It's sad because I don't wish for any show's demise, even the shows I don't watch. But yeah, it's a little rough to see that happen. And I will say it made a very good star turn for what's that actor, Manny Jacinto, who I know Chris knows a lot from The Good Place.
Yes.
He was easily the best person in that show. I also enjoyed Lee John Jay, who's also known for being in Squid Game. I think he did a fantastic job with what he had. Apparently, a role that was originally going to go to Keanu Reeves until he said there was scheduling issues. I think he read the script and said nah. But that's just as my speculation. But yeah,
too nice to say that.
I think if they had given this show another season at a limited budget, I think they would have gotten past a lot of the clunky issues with the show. But unfortunately, here we are. Maybe they'll continue the story in a different way, maybe in a book or something. I don't know.
I haven't watched it, but it says here is a mystery thriller that took viewers into the galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Yep. So this is like way before like the Star Wars we know. Then,
it's 100 years before Phantom. It's 100 years before Phantom Menace. This show takes place. So.
Okay. Oh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, I also know that this got review bombed because of the.
Yeah.
This was the woke show, right?
Oh
like,
boy.
This was like the big time woke show. So it had all the incels pissed off.
I'll add one last thing. Amanda Stenberg put out a I want to say Instagram or TikTok video thanking everybody who did support the show, and she was very mature about the cancellation about the show and stuff like that. She said she had a good time. She loves Leslie Headland and their work chemistry as well on the show, and she's not going to pay any mind to the haters. So props to her, man. I thought it was a solid premise. It was lacking in some ways. But maybe they'll
she got done dirty though by the fans and by Disney because she already had to go through this as a fucking child.
Yes.
In the original Hunger Games, where all of these white people were so mad that this character Rue that they thought was white was played by a black girl, and they were out there boasting, I'm so glad she died because she wasn't white.
Oh, do you know
that is deranged.
Trivia for everybody. Trivia for everybody who's here. You know who killed her in the Hunger Games? What actor killed her?
I don't remember. I've only seen it once long ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jack Quaid.
Who's that?
Oh, Jack. He's the voice of Boimler on Lower Decks and also on The Boys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Nepo Baby.
God damn it, dude. Jesus Christ.
He's related to Dennis Quaid too.
Yeah, he's Dennis Quaid's son.
Yeah, he's called a Nepo Baby.
Wow, please stop.
He's not as bad as O'Shea Jackson though.
Oh my god.
Anyway, we're not talking about Nepo babies. That's not the point. But like,
let's go.
They, these crazy fans, like,
it's crazy.
They just scream woke and DEI and ESG at anything, and it's like, you idiots don't even know what these words mean.
Nope.
And you're just mindlessly repeating this like a bunch of brainwashed drones, but you all act like you're original thinkers. And I also got a shit on Disney because they do nothing to protect.
They don't fight back.
Their actors of color.
They certainly don't.
They just let them out here into the world, and they let them burn, and they do not give them any support. We saw it happen with John Boyega.
Yep.
We saw it happen with what's her name on Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah, Moses Ingram. Moses Ingram.
Yeah, and Ewan McGregor had to come out himself to defend her because Disney would not. We saw it with Kelly Marie Tran in Last Jedi. We see it now with Amanda Stenberg. Like, Disney just does not care about defending people of color because they don't want to piss off the racists that make up their fan base. And it is very clear that the Star Wars fandom has a serious racism problem.
Boy, do they.
That the fandom doesn't want to address and that Disney does not want to address. But we're going to keep coming back here over and over and over again as long as new things are made, unless, you know, they just try to play it safe again like they did with episode 9 and make even more garbage nobody is happy about. And let's just regurgitate the original trilogy over and over and over again in new flavors rather than try anything original, because clearly fans only want the same slop served to them over and over again.
Wasn't this reviewed bomb like really bad before it really even came out? Like
yes, 1,000%.
This was
from the moment
there
it
was a trailer,
announced.
right?
Yep.
And then everybody like was going crazy about the trailer. And then, like, as soon as it came out, it got review bombed, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So,
And then you had
it's just so stupid.
threats sent to the editors of Wikipedia because of a dumb thing involving the Jedi Master Ki-Adi-Mundi. You just had really abominable behavior by the fans, which is saying a lot even for Star Wars fans, because, like, they were just
terrible.
relentless on this. And, you know, I'm not going to say that show was perfect. It had some serious narrative problems, but it had some interesting ideas, and, you know, it was trying to do some things differently, and I liked how it depicted the Jedi as just being straight up motherfucking bastards.
Yeah. And I'll add this. I don't think the flow of the show was completely Leslie Edlin's fault. I think she got a lot of kickback from the higher-ups at Disney. And I don't know specifically, but it felt like a show.
I feel like the stink of baloney is all over this. Like coming in afterwards and messing with her vision.
Yeah, I second that. I honestly believe they clashed throughout the process of this, and the show hurt for it. And I just wish that they would trust her to do that. I mean, they didn't do that to Tony Gilroy, and that's fucking clear when it comes to Andor. But it is a shame that the show worked out this way. I really, really wish they nailed it on the first try.
Well. Next one here is from the Shade. Yeah, I think we did we mention this last episode?
We touched upon it.
The
We did touch
voice
upon it a
actress
little
for the Major dying of an unspecific illness.
Yeah, I mean it bears repeating, but rest in peace.
He died after a 1-year battle with the voice actors. Can I do the news?
Sorry, okay, go for it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to piss you off.
Trying just to get through it.
Okay.
So, yeah, she died. The Japanese voice actress of the Major from Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell died from after a 1-year battle with an unspecified illness.
Yeah.
So
rest in peace to Atsuko Tanaka. It's a shame that happened.
And did we talk about this one too? Did we mention it about Do You Remember Love to receive 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and Blu-ray release in Japan?
Last week,
last
time at all. So
okay, I thought maybe we talked about
we talked about it behind the scenes. I don't think we mentioned it on the show. Maybe we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like, according to Amazon Japan, available January 29th, 2025, listed for a pre-order of about $68 US. There's going to be a UHD release. It's going to be in 6.9, 2160p ultra high definition. It's going to have Japanese audio with English subtitles. It's going to be Region A, North America, South America, U.S. territories, blah blah blah. So, yeah, I guess Christmas will keep coming in January. So, is there anything you have to do to get a Japanese Amazon account? I've never really gone over to the other. I think I've gone to Canada, Japanese or Canadian
you
Amazon.
Have to create a new account, but they have a full English site, so it is very easy to create an Amazon Japan account. And I would also note, given how weak the yen is right now, it really works to our favor to import. So I ordered a copy for myself and a friend so that the shipping would be lower, and it is $90 shipped.
God
damn. Oh wow, for two?
It's not at all bad considering it's a 4K Blu-ray and a regular Blu-ray that's 4K remastered, and I think comes like a little poster or something. So hop onto your favorite importing site and get a copy of this and give a middle finger to Harmony Gold.
As soon as I find a job, this is my gift to myself right here. But fuck,
you know, in case it hasn't been emphasized enough recently, fuck Harmony Gold. Look,
you gotta say it one more time.
James Stephanie Sterling can have fuck Konami
Yes!
as their thing that they
Yo,
frequently
James.
refer to, we have fuck Harmony Gold.
Yo, Stephanie. Well said, sir. Well said.
So yeah, no, that's great. I mean, super, super cool. Next one here comes from MCT Dread. Has a link to Anime News Network. Gundam Silver Fanta Anime reveals a trailer and October 3rd release. So it looks like at the panel at Anime NYC, reversed. It's going to be called Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom. It's a feature-length VR anime for the Meta Quest, and it's going to be released on October 3rd. So, have you guys taken a look at the trailer? I haven't really seen it. So,
Such as it is for a 2D trailer of a VR thing.
Yeah. I guess the story setting is Universal Century 96, 0096. Looks like it's gonna, and there was another recently announced Gundam project to include Mobile Suit Gundam Requiem for Vengeance project. It's going to consist of 6 30-minute episodes that will stream worldwide on Netflix. That will debut on October 17th. So it looks like we got something we'll be reviewing in probably November, December.
Maybe.
Could be the last show of the year. So before we go on hiatus. So, but anything else on that, guys?
Nothing to add.
No. MCT Dread. Oh, this is appropriate. Looks like Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom film will get an updated special edition.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. So we're going to have to go back and watch this and review it. Oh, what's the special edition?
Oh, boy.
The director says it's on Crunchyroll News. The headline, or under the headline, it says, for the quote from the director, "This is the perfect version of Seed Freedom." Wait a second. What did you give us? The garbage version? I mean, what is this?
I mean, that's in keeping with Seed and Destiny,
Yeah.
which had lots of sloppy TV animation that was later fixed for DVDs. So this is just for the course with that.
What? Does this guy have dirt on Bandai Namco? I've never seen somebody just get so many oh hey, I just released this. Oh, now I'm going to give you the better version.
Hey man, what he's just following. What's his name?
He's following Hideaki Anno's example.
Yeah, that and what's his name? The guy who directed Justice League, Zack Snyder, man. They
yeah, I guess.
Multiple chances these guys get.
So Fukuda says here, quote, "In the original version that was screened from January 26, due to time constraints, it was not possible to make all the scenes to the extent that each section was satisfied with. This time we have updated those scenes and also made some changes to various parts of the film, including those that were uncomfortable after the screening. I think we can say this is the perfect version of Seed Freedom. Short episodes were newly written for the end of the ending as an epilogue. We hope you." So why didn't they just wait then? Why wouldn't you just? It took you how many 15 years to get this out? What's a few more months to make it perfect? Or
I think,
they got bad feedback from people.
I think a lot of Japanese companies like Nintendo have weird fiscal years that start in April.
Yeah.
Yep.
So may have wanted to just get the movie out and get some cash to help close out the fiscal year.
Yeah, that's probably because they do have they do have those weird years. So okay. Well, that's cool. So I guess we'll have something. That'll be another episode that we'll have something to review. Chris, MC Red, I think you put this on here for you. Zoid's Patlabor crossover will continue in a new manga. So I know you're excited about that. Yeah.
Zoid's Patlabor?
Yeah, Zoid's, the crossover between Mobile Police Patlabor and Zoid's will continue in a new manga serialization. It's revealed. Takara Tomy has revealed it's working on the Patlabor Creators Head Group to produce a new manga adaptation of the crossover. It'll be available in fall 2024 with the title Zoid's X Patlabor Code Name Butty, with periods in between BUDDY. So, yeah, man.
Wow.
Maybe we'll be able to do some reviews on Zoids. You think so, Chris?
I'm about that Zoids life, man.
Are you making space on MHQ for this? I mean, in the Pat Labor section? I guess you're going to have to put that in there, right?
No commento.
There, maybe someone put it in the news. I'll wait till the news is over. But there was a particular commercial that dropped that highlighted that and some other crossovers that are happening toy wise. And if no one else brought it up in this news, I will bring it up later.
Yeah, I don't see that, but so just next one here looks like there's going to be a launch of the 12th manga of Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Stray series on January 26th, so later this month. The October issue of Katakata Koen's monthly Gundam Ace was revealed that the 12th work in the Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Stray series was going to launch in September 22nd. The new manga is set in CE 75 and will center in the scrap dealer row mercenary. In a scrap dealer row, a mercenary soldier Guy and the unroyalists during the battle between Compass and the Foundation. So, scrap dealer, huh? Oh man, it's not like Gemon, right?
You
guys excited about that?
Can't top that. What are you talking about?
Guys excited?
Anyway, it sounds interesting. I mean, it's a new Stray. No comment.
Gotta clear more space, Chris. Gotta put that placeholder in there. MCT Dread comes back with 2 more, and I'll just hit them right after the other here. First one here is the Gundam The Origin anime is going to get a compilation film starting on September 13th. Yeah, that seemed long overdue, right? So, yeah, it's going to be, they're going to take a 6-episode Mobile Suit, the Gundam The Origin, and it's been re-edited into a movie edition trilogy. 3 films will start screening in Japan on September 13th. And then on September 22nd and October 25th. And so the first film is going to be called the Char Sela arc. The second one is going to be Kaizen Hen, the Outbreak of the War arc. And the last one is called the Loam arc. So,
AKA each movie is just 2 episodes slapped together.
Pretty much, yeah.
The math is very simple.
Yeah.
6 divided by 2 equals 3.
With probably some new animation or some stuff that was on the cutting floor. So,
I doubt there's any new animation because they didn't do anything for the TV version.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So, but yeah. So there you go. And the last one here, I know this was a big one that just happened recently. The Deep Space Nine actor James Darren, who was the what was his name? Vic Fontaine.
Yeah, I want to say
yeah. Yeah, he was the holograph singer. He was like the Frank Sinatra of the holodeck. I guess he just recently passed like a few days ago, right? So.
Yes.
Damn.
At the time of this stream, yes, just earlier this week.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me get an exact date here. I don't want to be complete Larry King on this one. He'd be like, yeah, it happened in September. September 2nd. So yeah, he's was treated for cardiac arrest, and he was 88 though. So I mean, big ups for him.
Big bucket of win.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Since we're on the subject of Star Trek actors, in addition to him passing, so did Patty Yasutake. She passed too. She was I think she was a nurse on Next Generation.
Alyssa Ogawa.
Alyssa Ogawa, yeah. She passed away a couple weeks or days ago, I should say, at age 70 from cancer as well. Yeah, it was sad to see that. In both cases, they both played memorable characters, and it's a shame we've lost them both, man. Damn. But yeah, if anything, may they both rest.
Oh, this dude was in T.J. Hooker with the Shat. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Oh, look at him. A young guy there. Holy crap.
Young buck, man. Young buck.
Yeah.
That was him.
He had a music career too, so
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I wonder if he was related to Bobby Darin. I'm looking at this article just to see, because Darin's I know Bobby Darin was a popular crooner as well, in the 50s and whatnot. But I'll have to do my research on that. But
man, look at the Shad as an LAPD sergeant, man.
Look at him.
What would you do there? It's like, I'm sure he did lots of double axe handle police brutality back in the day.
Oh, sure.
That was from the 80s, right? 1980s. I never really saw that show. But all right, that's the news, guys. Anything else on news?
Well, that thing I mentioned, the crossover between Zoids and Pat Labor also involves Spider-Man as well. They're having a crossover with that. Transformers is crossing over with Godzilla for 2 toys.
Spider-Man is crossing over with Pat Labor and Zoids?
No, Spider-Man's crossing over with one of the brands. I'm trying to find it here. It's in this video I put in the chat. Let me pull this up over here on the screen.
And the Transformers are fighting Godzilla?
No, one of them's going to be Godzilla. I think Optimus is going to be, I don't know if it's Mecha Godzilla or whatnot, but Megatron is going to be Godzilla. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, there's transformable versions of those two as different things. If I could find it in this stupid video, there we go. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
But yeah, basically they're doing these crossover Transformers with Godzilla, and then apparently they got something going on with Macross 7. That's the big thing I wanted to mention. The Transformers and Macross 7 are crossing over for their respective anniversaries, and they're doing a version of the Bossera's. It looks like it's Bossera's Valkyrie. As a Transformer, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Is Bossera going to fight Blaster?
I
mean, what's going to go on there?
I don't know, but I mean, his plane already transformed. I don't know how much Transformers it could possibly be. So, and then Spider-Man is crossing over with Zoids. So it looks like it's a giant transformable spider.
Serious?
Yeah, it's right here. The Spider Zoids Spider-Man special. So this might tie back to the TV show.
Chris, Zoids
comic.
is just playing with you, man. Cross it over with all the things you like. Pat Labor, Spider-Man. I mean, what's next?
They got
Babylon 5?
They got a symbiote version too. They got a symbiote version. Holy shit, man, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
And Monster
they're out for you, Chris. They want to be an MHQ.
Coming for your money.
Pretty soon it's going to be Zoids and the Gundam.
Hey, you never know. That might happen soon. I mean, these crazy things are happening. So, a company called Synergenics.
Space Nine.
Yeah, Synergenics is the one that's behind this. So it looks interesting. The Macross 7 one is the big one I'm interested in, though. So we'll see what happens.
Oh man, so it's going to be what? So Bossera is probably going to team up with Blaster to fight against Soundwave, right? I mean, that would make the most sense.
That would be dope as fuck. I would love to see that. If they're going to combine his Valkyrie with Blaster, yo, I'm down. I love Blaster to death. That's my guy.
But if they do a Transformers action figure for that, that's only going to be in Japan, right?
I'm sure we can import it. I've imported. I import most of my. I have a bunch of Kodabukake, I forget how to pronounce it, but the statues, the female character statues, like of the G.I. Joe characters and the Transformer cosplaying ones that I import straight from through Hobby Link Japan. At least I used to when I had a job. But it's nothing for me to go to Hobby Link Japan and order something when I do have money to do so. So I would do that with this too.
Okay.
Kodobukiya.
Right.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you so much.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it. That's the news. If you ever have any news, you can always go to the Neo's Listener Submitted News Articles thread in the Gundam section of the Mecha Talk forum. And now we're going to go to our big review of the night, the Gundam Seed Freedom movie. The less perfect version, because we've heard in the news that there's going to be the perfect version coming out soon. So, who knew? Exactly. But Chris, you want to give us a quick synopsis of the Gundam Seed Freedom, the less perfect version?
As much as can be given for wacky movie like this. So we start. It's CE 75. It's been a year since the end of Destiny, and the world is in chaos, and all of our pals from Destiny are on the same team, and they are part of this new peacekeeping organization called Compass, which was founded by the Earth Alliance, Zaft, and Orb, which is why you see people still wearing the colors of the uniforms from their respective countries. And they supply this organization with mobile suits and with resources, and their job is to just be the global police to deal with problems like Blue Cosmos, which it seems the Earth Alliance has finally officially separated from, even though all the Blue Cosmos people you see are still using Earth Alliance mobile suits and wearing Earth Alliance uniforms. So, not sure what's up with that. But Blue Cosmos is acting up and causing trouble in Africa. So, team is sent from the new battleship Millennium, including Kira, Shin, Luna Maria, Hilda, and from the Black Tri-Stars of Destiny.
Oh yeah,
not to be confused with those other Black Tri-Stars. And the insufferable new character Agnes. And Kira is on his own, just beating up everybody. Him and Shin double team yet another Destroy Gundam, because how many of these fucking things are there?
Just keep making them.
There's still some spares running around. Even though, like, they are possibly one of the most jobbed suits ever in Gundam history.
Yeah.
And there's another one that shows up later on that's even, like, more busted.
Right?
So there's that. So Kira's not doing well. He's pretty miserable. He feels the burden of responsibility as the military commander of Compass, and they're trying to get this guy Michael, who is the leader of Blue Cosmos, and this mysterious kingdom called Foundation, not to be confused with the Apple TV Plus series.
Oh, right.
Which is way better. Offers to help. And these people are a breakaway country that's separated from the Eurasia Federation and declared their independence, and they've had a mysteriously remarkable economic and technological recovery, and they just really want to help out Compass in exchange for being able to join Compass.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone thinks they're kind of sus, but they go meet with them, and they have a weird child empress and a sicko team of Royal Guard mobile suit pilots called the Black Knights, and their prime minister, a guy named Orphe, is creeping on Lacus immediately, telepathically talking to her, cucking Kira twice in the span of 5 minutes, and just being generally gross. So the operation proceeds to hunt down Michael, and Eurasia's like, hey, we'll let you, operate in this one area near our border, but if you cross into our border, we're going to fuck you up, so don't do that. So everything seems to be going fine until the Black Knights whammy Kira with their mysterious telepathic abilities, and he starts hallucinating that he is seeing Michael trying to escape, so he crosses into Eurasian territory, and they're very pissed. At the same time, the Black Knights have taken control of a mobile command post with nuclear missiles, which I don't know why that's a thing, that you just have lightly defended mobile trailers with nuclear missiles. Like, that just seems like a really bad idea conceptually and also operationally. And they fire these nuclear missiles at their own capital city as a false flag so they can blame the Eurasian Federation. But unfortunately, the Archangel, which is now part of Compass, they witnessed the Black Knights sneaky and being somewhere where they're not supposed to be. So the Black Knights destroy the Archangel, and I gotta say, after 20 plus years and all the stuff that ship went through, it got done dirty.
It did.
And seeing it go down, it felt like one of those moments in a Star Trek movie when the Enterprise is destroyed.
Yes.
Yes. Agreed.
That's what I felt when I saw it in the theater. I was like, God damn, really? It went through so much just to take it down, man. Come on. You didn't have to do this, but they did.
That ship has survived everything.
Yeah. Such a
But
shame.
apparently, a sicko team is all it takes to destroy it.
but a part of me kind of felt for it, like it is like it needed that because it did go through so much. I don't know how many times it's been rebuilt. It's like, oh,
not rebuilt.
but yeah, they did it. They did do it dirty. It should have had a more glorious ending than, if you're gonna blow it up, you might as well just make it a little bit more memorable than just like an overhead satellite shot of just the burnt out wreck. So,
I mean that black archangel went out like in a blaze of glory. That's no shit got out.
Yeah.
Yes.
R.I.P. Bedroom.
So Archangel gets destroyed. The Black Knights utterly wreck Kira's Rising Freedom. So bye-bye Rising Freedom. They also wreck Shin's Immortal Justice, which, I gotta say, does it not seem weird that Shin is piloting the successor of the suit that whooped his ass?
Right? It's a little awkward.
Definitely
Doesn't
weird.
that make him feel weird?
Yeah.
Clearly,
Chris,
that was meant for Athrun, and he's just using it as a hand-me-down.
Pretty much.
What was the first thing I told you? I said, when we saw that scene, I said, this is wrong on so many levels. When we watched this, this felt wrong.
It's a violation.
Yeah,
It's a violation.
those
so
words,
they whoop him.
Shinasa. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They whoop him and destroy the Immortal Justice. So bye Immortal Justice as well. And the Foundation creeps grab Lacus and they escape space in a shuttle where they have a massive fleet waiting with Mirage Colloid, and they're sneaking around, and they seize control of Requiem. And I have to ask myself, why does Requiem still exist?
I know. I thought it was gone too, and I think somebody actually says that in there too. Doesn't? And it one
why
of the
was
characters.
this thing not completely dismantled?
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to have lying around.
No.
Like there is no need for that thing to exist. So they seize control of Requiem, and Orphe comes out and does a worldwide broadcast, and he's like, "Hey, bitches, what's up? We're Foundation, and the reason that we're so awesome is because of the Destiny Plan, and we have decided that even though it failed for Durandal, we are going to force the Destiny Plan onto the world all over again, and if you don't like it, we're going to blast you with Requiem." And they then blast Moscow as retaliation, quote unquote, for Eurasia's attack on them. And at the same time, all of the homeless people that used to be on Archangel and Millennium, they are hiding out on Orb. They hear the news. Athrun shows up to give an exposition dump on what Foundation has been doing, and we learn that their Queen Aura actually was a contemporary of Durandal and worked with him on the Destiny Plan, and that their idea was to create a species of human that surpassed coordinators to be the managers of the Destiny Plan, and these people are called Accords. And that's what all of these thickos from Foundation are. Mind you, we see a photo of Aura with Durandal as an adult woman, but the person we see in this movie looks like she's 12.
Yeah.
What the hell is she? Is that like a clone with her brain in it? Is it somebody else entirely? Like, they never bother to explain this like massive discrepancy that makes no sense, and I'm sure it's probably in some, side manga to come out like this Astray thing. They'll be like, oh, well, actually, it's yada yada. It's like, okay.
Oh
whatever.
boy.
So Kira is sad and mopey, and he feels that Lacus betrayed them, and that he, can't make her happy, and he's just a miserable shit. So Athrun beats the crap out of him. Shin tries to step in and gets whooped himself. And finally, Athrun breaks Kira out of his mopiness. And they all decide, hey, we got to go stop this bullshit from happening. So they launch a plan to sees the Millennium, which Foundation sees on satellite imagery, and Orphe calls up Kagali and goes, "Hey, I know what you're doing, so we're gonna blast Orb next with Requiem." And Kagali's like, "What are you talking about? I have no idea how this ship got stolen. It certainly had nothing to do with me."
Oh, wink, wink.
Yeah. At the same time, a coup just happens in Zaft, and the leader of the military tries to take down the chairman of the council. But thank goodness for Isaac and Dirka coming to save the day and evacuating him, along with Isaac's mom, who I guess she
Got her
went
shit
through
together.
some reconsideration of her previous positions, because I can certainly recall in Seed, she was a genocidal hardliner supporting Patrick Zala, and now she's,
she's reformed.
now she's on the other side. So
Yeah.
maybe she did some jail time, and that softened her up. I don't know.
She was incarcerated in Destiny, right?
I think so.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I watched Destiny.
I know. I think she was. I think at the
Sentences
beginning.
of light.
Yeah.
Oh wow. War crimes and all.
You have these Zaft crew members who are joining with Foundation, and it's a big old fleet. So the Millennium goes to fight them with some help from the Eternal and also our old pal the Kusanagi, which I guess is still just hanging around.
Yeah.
Kira and Luna Maria and Shin, they get to launch in brand new upgraded versions of the Strike Freedom, the Destiny, and the Impulse, and they all proceed to whoop some ass. Kira sneaks into Artemis, which, thought we had not heard about that place since Seed.
Right.
The invincible fortress that got whooped so easily by Atherin and his pals.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're up in there again. Orphe tries to sexually assault Lacus and just comes off looking even more pathetic than before trying to do that to her. Kira snatches her away, and she launches in this new little fighter called the Proud Defender that is basically a new backpack for the Strike Freedom with even more powerful weapons. And Kira uses that to curb stomp even more. Atherin shows up with a space Zagok that I don't even know why the hell this thing exists other than just to be something to laugh at. That actually is infinite justice underneath, that's been upgraded with a literal X-wing fighter as its backpack. If you don't believe me, Mitsuo Fukuda is a huge Star Wars fan. As evidenced by the use of Star Wars sound effects and Randall's chair in Destiny and the window behind it being an exact copy of Palpatine's from Return of the Jedi.
And a particular line that's said later.
Also, Aura's last name is Kyber, and I think that is definitely not a coincidence.
Right on.
That's a bit more of a deep cut. So anyway, all of the sickos of the Black Knights team get killed, most of them by Shin, because he starts using Destiny duplication techniques, and a nightmarish ghost Stella appears and freaks them out.
Oh man.
All these people get whooped. Kira and Lacus, very much summoning up the end of G Gundam, but the power of love, are able to defeat Orphe, and he dies a sad little bitch. And Muru pilots the Millennium in this weird, attempt to do a battle bridge that's just a little dome with a glass, and they end up killing Aura, so bye-bye for that angry sicko.
Mm-hmm.
And the Zaft leader is killed by Isaac and Dirka, so all the people who need to die, and peace is restored yet again. Will it hold this time? I don't know. Depends. This movie made a lot of money, so maybe we'll get a sequel years down the line and find out, hey, there's some other asshole who is using a super weapon that you thought was already destroyed, but somehow secretly still exists, and everybody has to come back and fight some new sickos.
Yeah, or they'll release another top level management for the Destiny plan. It's like, no, these people are supposed to be over.
Surely this third time will be the charm for the Destiny plan.
Yes. Yes.
Really, guys, it's gonna work this time, guys.
It has to.
So am I supposed to like at the end of all this, like, were the last remnants of Blue Cosmos in Eurasia? Is that right?
I mean, that particular faction of Blue Cosmos was in Eurasia. We don't know if it was like the last gasp of Blue Cosmos. I'm sure there always seems to be more of those guys.
Yeah, Atherin didn't really explain that in his dump that he did. So
yeah,
maybe they don't have that information at the time. So
Nazi says, are they going to steal the plot for the next Seed anime from the new Code Geass recapture? Jose of the recapture anime, because this movie stole quite a few plot lines from Code Geass Resurrection. Yeah, the whole like mysterious nation that you've literally never heard of, but that has super powerful mecha piloted by a bunch of sickos, and they have a plan to take over the world. Yeah, they definitely did steal that from Resurrection. But they also stole some stuff from other places, so we'll get to that later. So I'll turn it back to Neil.
All right, so I guess we'll go to General Haid with some of it. He can touch upon some of his highlights, some things that really stood out to him of Gundam Seed.
Right.
Well, we have done lowlights. Yeah, we'll do the highlights and things that stand out first, and then we'll go into the lowlights at that.
I mean, for the most part, when I saw this the very first time, I loved it. It met my expectations as far as this went. So when I did my second viewing of this, it was on Netflix, and I'm sure everybody had the same reaction. When I heard 10 minutes of the dub, I turned it off quickly and said, no, not for me. As far as that goes, I had to download this. But yeah, so for the most part, when I did the second one, I started seeing some of the things that were wrong with the movie as far as I go. But I mean,
we can hit that in low lights. Yeah. So why don't you hit your highlights right now? So
my highlights of it, I loved Rising Freedom. It was by far one of the best suits in the entire series, and very sad that it got destroyed. But I thought it was better than regular Freedom. Thought it was better than Strike Freedom. Liked it. I loved it more than freaking Strike. As far as that goes.
Oh shit!
Best suit in the entire show.
But you knew it had to be destroyed because that's the Seed thing. So I mean,
yeah, I know.
At the beginning, it has to die.
But it would have made more sense. It would have made more sense that he had Strike Freedom and that got destroyed, and then Rising Freedom was the new suit. But again, whatever.
Why makes sense?
Yes, exactly. Some of my favorite moments was Shin catching a two-piece by both Atherin and just jumping in the middle of the fight. I kind of like the relationship between Shin and Kira because it kind of felt like Neo and Stella, where he kept on repeating his name over and over throughout the entire show, entire movie. It was just funny to me that way. As far as that. Let me see. Let's see. What else did I like? I like seeing all the return of the characters that all those loser characters that showed up in the background, like Sai and so forth. Even Arthur that just kept on doing the same shit he was doing in Destiny, just freaking out for no reason. As far as that was still funny. Pretty much that was about it. Outside of that, and I pretty much and everything else everything else that was just funny was just the bad shit. So
okay, so bro.
All right, man. You want the positives? You want the big positives? All right, I got you. I got you, sir. we'll start it off with shout outs to Ed the Crimson, man. Seeing it with Ed in the theater, man, that was some cool shit, man. It was nice to sit down and see an actual Gundam movie in the theater. It was my first time seeing the Gundam movie. I missed out on many opportunities thanks to work, so this is really cool to go see that with. So shout outs to Ed, he's in the chat. Returning to the World of Seed was big, man. I didn't realize how much I missed it. As much as we shit on Destiny, there are aspects of the Seed universe that is super cool, man, and I dig seeing them. The violence level, man. I'd forgotten how violent Seed can get, man. When you see people getting gunned down in the streets and the liberal use of nukes, Jesus Christ, yo. it's wrong.
Did you forget that this is a series that showed people getting popped like microwave popcorn?
Yes, that's right, man. The Jiffy Pop murder. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, but in this one they were like, but in this one they were basically they didn't blow up and pop so much. Oh, they just got kind of vaporized.
They did. They
did. That was a new twist on Requiem.
Gio Morgan says, "Back to the popcorn maker." Yes. You'll get your butter. But the animation and music was strong, man. I love the composer of the Seed series, man. It was good to hear a lot of the returning themes and motifs come back. So, man, classic. I've really dug that. It made you feel like you were back in the world. So props to them. The animation was strong. I'm sure there was some reused animation, but again, it's been so long since I've seen Seed or Destiny. So if there was any recycled animation, it slipped past me. But it is flashback.
The recycled animation was all deliberately in the flashbacks. Like
true.
They couldn't recycle 20-year-old TV animation that was originally done in 4:3 for
that's right,
theatrical movie.
They had to work this time.
But if they could have, they would have tried.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And
they would have done it.
And last but not least, I always have had a love affair with the Murasames. We got to see them for at least a second. So, I'm sure they were in action as well. But they're my favorite grunt suit of all of Gundam. So to see them was fantastic. I need to buy a model of one if they actually have a decent grade of kit for the Murasame, because to me it's like it's Gundam's version of the Valkyrie. As far as I'm concerned, it's the closest thing to it from what I've seen. So I really dig that, and I will always mourn the Savior Gundam from Destiny. That is my favorite suit out of that whole franchise, straight up and down. And to see how that got dirtied in Destiny is another reason why that series is a bitter taste in my mouth. But those are my big positives. I have a lot of complaints, so I'm gonna save them for that point. So back to you.
Damn. All right, so Chris, your positives.
Woo!
The animation quality was definitely better, as a 2024 movie. The CG for the mecha was well done, and the movie is good at depicting like the scale of violence, and it really creates yet again just how awful Blue Cosmos is, that they just fight with complete and reckless abandon for the safety of civilians. And it's like at this point, like, what are you all even fighting for? Like, you're more pathetic than the whatever incarnation of Neo Zeon. Like, just call it quits and go home. But they keep on trucking, killing all them civilians, and then seeing the mass use of nukes, and then also Requiem being used again, and goodbye Moscow. I guess they've been wiped off the surface of the earth. So, this movie definitely brings in the body count like previous Seed incarnations. I'll agree with Sobro. The soundtrack has always been a strong suit of previous Seed series, and we get a lot of new songs and also reprisals of previous themes at key moments. So that was good. And it's got some solid designs. The Murasame Kai is pretty good. The Rising Freedom is a pretty good design compared to the Strike Freedom or the Mighty Strike Freedom. And the Immortal Justice is a decent design. I think the transformations of those two suits are incredibly lazy, and I'm a fan of those. The Black Knights are kind of interesting looking with the sort of like regal ornamentation. Some of them especially Orphe's suit looked like something out of F-91 and the Crossbone Vanguard.
Yeah.
Man.
The Millennium's a decent ship. It's clearly a descendant of the Minerva. And,
absolutely.
You know, it's got literally every weapon you could think of, including, a bow ram. So, you know, it can do a lot of fun stuff. That is my positives.
All right. Well, I guess my positives are going to be the fact that it actually happened. I mean, I'm looking at this. I mean, the original run of Destiny ended on October 1st, 2005. Final Plus came in at December 25th, 2005. It's been like, this has been a 19-year odyssey. So I guess persistence is the thing that we got to kind of give. I have to, you know, the animation was great. The you know, the soundtrack, that's always been setting the mood with the different music and the different moods of music. It always helps with this series. Chris is right. The scale of the violence and like the threat that's out there. Seed was always great at showing this. But you know, and then of course the mecha designs were always pretty strong. And it definitely was nice to see everybody back in some way, shape, or form. So, but yeah, I pretty much agree with most of the things that were said on that. So, anything before we go into some of our lowlights, because it sounds like we have some. So, hey, General Haight, you want to go into some of your lowlights, or some of the things that bothered you, or some of the things that you thought could have been done better in Seed Freedom?
So first off, Kaggle, her voice actor.
Well, here we go.
Horrible. She was not the old Kaggle. There was like no uncertainty, just no doubt in her voice. She was too sure of herself. She was too responsible, and I was like, that's not the Kaggle I grew up with. That's not her. Like, you know, no pulling of the hair, no freaking out. No looking to other people for help or for direction to run a country. Like, it was just, she was like legit putting her foot down, and I was like, I can't get behind this Kaggle. No.
Yo, Yazzie writes no crying.
I was like, no.
No crying.
Yeah. A Kaggle that doesn't cry,
damn.
It just doesn't work. As far as that goes, I was just it was just whatever, man. I like I thought there were going to be more Gil references, like, you know, more Gil flashbacks, because, like, you know, that's what I figured, because that's how Gundam Seed operates. Just, like, you know, spamming the repeated like showing the bad guy just get into the head of the protagonist. I didn't see that much. I only saw 3 Gil things going through Kira's head as far as that, so I was kind of disappointed with that. Let me see here. As far as my notes go, as far as that goes, I don't know. There were parts of the movie where, like, I just started like they were just droning on and on. I think like the part where this guy is trying to seduce Locus multiple times and just like get into her head. I just started I just started wondering other things, like, you know, like I wrote down this thought. I was like, who lives rent free in Kira's head, Gil or Flay? As far as that goes. Let me see here, like, and then I started wondering who lives rent free in Atherin's head, you know, as far as, like, you know, Kaggle and his dad, because, like, you know, he always sees those images all the time. Let me see. The one thing I wasn't sure, the one thing I didn't like is that there was no sure love interest for Atherin, because I know Maven's interested in him, but it sounds like he's still chasing after Kaggle.
Yeah.
And they didn't really make a big point of, like, what's going on with that.
Well, Robin says
Which,
they married
whatever.
finally. I mean, they were like emphasizing some
Did
rings. They're emphasizing some rings that they had on necklaces. So I don't know if that was
But didn't
significant.
they? But I think they gave each other. They gave back or gave each other rings at the end of Destiny, and then they went their separate ways.
Yeah, that's right. But I think they hinted that there was something that might have rekindled between them, or maybe that's possible.
I was under the impression that the engagement was broken off, and like he just went his way, and then like Mei Rin's just chasing after him.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Because I thought it would have made more sense she's with them.
Yeah.
Like the amount of shit she has gone through with that dude.
Very true.
Compared to Kagami, yeah. So that was that. I kind of found it funny that Shin tripped into tripped into this whole relationship with Luna Maria because as far as that goes, that was funny because I thought they were item in Destiny, but I guess it was just that kiss.
They were a thing by the end of Destiny.
Yeah,
but it sounds like they weren't a thing. They weren't a thing during this movie. They were just like people were calling her out on shit, like why are you so dense about Shin? All this other
Seed
crap.
Is very weird about it's.
Yeah. I don't know who's worse, Flay or this. What was the name of the chick?
Agnes. Yeah.
I don't know who's worse, man. I don't know. I want to say Agnes because she was just batshit annoying throughout everything. Just like the fact that she became a traitor because she got rejected by Kira, which.
Yeah, that's a Gundam thing, though. I mean, see prior Gundam on that. I mean,
I guess. As far as that, let me see. I'm trying to think of anything else I didn't like. What was another thing? I think that was about it. But there was just little things here and there with the plot. There's still plot holes in this thing, but that's just how Seed is. So it wouldn't be a Seed movie without plot holes being left open for interpretation or just not explained because I guess the director didn't know how to fucking explain it at the end. So yeah, but that's my overall. That'd be my overall take on that thing. Still enjoyed it though.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Man, since we're talking about Agnes, I might as well start off hot and heavy. Who the fuck is this character? Like word? Like I know she's brand new to the movie, but this chick's a straight up heifer, man. For real. If you ask the question, who's worse than Flay? If she's worse than Flay, you got to know. And Flay had her demons, and there's a bit of empathy you could have for Flay. This character, I have not an ounce of empathy for. She is like a cheap version of Quest from Char's Counterattack. Like, just a fast food version of Quest. Low rate, exactly. Low rate Quest. Just to see her, like...
racist.
Yeah. And with a little bit of Krakoa thrown in, right? Yeah, Flay was racist. But... Yeah. But there's a little bit of Krakoa thrown in because she switches sides and thinks she's gonna have it better than the other side, and she's constantly after people's dudes and then crying about nobody loves me. I want someone to love me. I say, girl, you look hot as fuck. I'm sure if you went to somebody who was single, you'd be fine. And there was plenty of dudes.
Those pouty lips.
Exactly, man.
Ridiculously pouty lips.
Yo,
thing about her is, she is a low rent Quest. And,
yes.
A lot of people hate Quests, and I get why. But when you watch Char's Counterattack and you take a step back and look at what Tamina was trying to do.
Right.
Quest is a cautionary tale of what happens when an idealistic young person gets manipulated by the charisma of a cultish leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Char's Counterattack depicts that all very well by how much she drinks the Kool-Aid and how he turns her into a weapon and just gaslights her and uses her for his own as a killing machine.
She was anime Patty
Agnes,
Hearst.
Not any of those things.
No.
Agnes is just an awful character. And it kind of annoys me that she's a retconned character who is established as having been in school with Shin and Luna,
right? And
boasting that she's so much better than him. I do love the dig about her saying that, like, well, you're not that great of a pilot, and you didn't deserve to be in these Gundams, but you were Durandal's lapdog, and it's like, oh, she called that out. She mentioned that.
Boy, she hit him, but that hurt worse than the 2-piece he got earlier.
He should ever.
Woo! The ego taking blows.
She's awful. She's an awful character, and she really should have been killed by Luna.
Yes.
Rather than being spared, because she's just an awful character who is not deserving of redemption, and she literally adds nothing to the movie other than just being this horrible, whiny person who wastes valuable screen time.
Yeah, they tried to make her a femme fatale. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she was just the turncoat, so.
It's she probably would have been a better character if she had the skills as a pilot to back it up.
Yeah, she's not anywhere even as good as Luna. It's like she got whooped by Luna, but she claims that she's better than Shin. Like, I don't think that's how that works.
It's almost as
if you're getting whooped by Luna, you're not. It's like it's not good for you if you're getting whooped by Luna.
Not at all. No.
If it's almost as if Fukuda has a requirement or a checklist of character types he must have in every show that he makes. And I can't speak for the racing show that he did that I know Neo loves. Or if any of those archetypes are in that. Oh yeah, and Chris loves as well. But I know from watching all 3 Seed projects that he worked on that there's characters that kind of fit that mold. Take for instance Orphe. He's a warmed over Durandal. It's just he was so uninspired as a villain, man. Why would you continue the Destiny plan? Why not come up with something better? You're just going back to try to hit these greatest hits when those hits weren't great to begin with.
That's not just Fukuda though. That's the Gundam formula though.
It is, but
too many times they just go back to the same old. I mean, but how long did they go back to the zombies? I mean, come on.
Which is fine, but they at least spiced it up and changed it up enough so that way you felt like you're traveling into somewhat new territory. This felt like a rerun, and it makes me ask: is
was a rerun.
As much as I felt good about coming back to this universe, we waited almost 20 years for this. And it just didn't hit as hard as I wish it would have. I was looking for closure of loose threads, maybe some new concepts this man came up with in the interim. Catharsis, which is asking a lot. And I know you're not here to be my psychiatrist, but Destiny put me through a shit ton. So I was hoping for at least a rebound here, a victory lap, and then you set us free. There might be another movie given this the popularity for this, so this may not be the end of Seed, but it could be very well our last visit to this universe. And so when you are faced with those aspects, you don't want to half-ass this whole project. And I felt like there was a little bit of half-assery with the execution of this. What were we going to say, Austin?
You're right about that. I was going to say you're
yes.
Yeah, you're being very generous. You're being very.
You're completely right about that. Where I think the biggest issue with this movie, it was too perfect. Like as far as all the good guys survived, nobody died.
Right.
And the one thing I can say about the one thing I can say about Seed is that it hit hard, especially when Mu died. Sacrificing his life for the Archangel.
Absolutely.
In the original version, that hit hard. I was just like, oh my god! Like they took one of your favorite characters and just offed them.
Yeah.
In a heroic way. And this movie
they killed a lot of people. I mean, they killed Azrael, who is who gets the. It finally sees the light of of her an error of her ways. You see Flay get killed. You see the stray
and they all
girls
die horribly.
Get killed. Yeah. It showed the brutality of it. Like, okay, Zaft lost people. They lost Rahl and all these other people, and then in Destiny they lose people. But there was nothing there. I mean, there was no
exactly nothing.
Yeah. Let's talk about
well, there was some minor deaths of Hilda's 2 homies from the Black Tri-Stars.
True.
Yes.
They get murked,
but that was like that, and that sucked. But like I'm talking about like this movie should have had a major death from one of the major characters.
Fair point.
That's what is keeping it from being as good as it should have been.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
It just doesn't feel like a good movie.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with you, Austin. I can't believe we're
That's
simpatical,
not the
baby.
only thing that keeps it. That's not the only thing that keeps it from
Holy
being good.
Yo, well, let's talk.
Anything else, still, bro?
Oh, I still got some. Let's talk about Shin. This motherfucker, man. He was stuck in his own Curb Your Enthusiasm loop the whole fucking movie until the very end, where he finally got some payback against some assholes. But man, my man was getting punked at every turn. As Austin mentioned, he caught that 2-hit combo trying to pull a hot rod from Transformers. Nah, son, he got rejected real fast. Yo, and my man, we got Dino. My man, because when he's outside the suit, Atherin is Alex Dino. I will accept nothing else. When he's in the suit, he's Atherin Zala, and that's the only time he's Atherin. But did you see that Batman backhand he gave Kira? That shit was beautiful, son. It's like, goddamn.
Adam, who's the better character, Alex Dino or Atherin Zala?
Oh, Alex Dino is my man. He can't fuck up. You can't.
I'll agree with you there. I'll agree with you there.
You cannot fuck with Alex Dino, man. He came in
Alex
like a
Dino's
storm.
Go ahead. He's so much of a better character than Atherin Zala.
Yo, when he showed up, the whole movie changed. It's like, yes, and then he beat the shit out of fucking Kira, which is like, yo, Kira is so vanilla as fuck that I was so glad to see him catch wreck. It was, man, ask Ed. When I was in the theater, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't. It was so good. But yeah, it's when Kira has his existential crisis about Lacus, and I cannot, after 20 years, I cannot call her Lacus. How do they pronounce her name? Lacus. Lacus. I can. Fukuda. I can't fucking do it. It's Lacus, son. I can't. But to see Kira have this crisis and just, the movie had this over-the-top drama / flowery dialogue the whole film, but in that moment when Kira just falls apart, it hits critical mass, and I just couldn't help but start roll my eyes the whole time. It's like, man, this dialogue, I get it. It's supposed to be like, what's the word? It's supposed to be like,
it's just so cringe. It's so fucking the whole, like, you don't need people because you love them.
Thank you.
Love them because you need them. Like,
man,
it's just.
If I write dialogue like that, please kill me.
I had to like rewind them. Like, she just didn't say it that way, did she?
It was rough.
And like, this is just all cringe.
Yeah.
Kira was cringe. Old boy Ofri was cringe.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was tough.
Like,
it was a tough sit.
So stupid. Like,
yes.
When you start getting into like the whole motivations and then just the stupid dialogue, you're like, really? This was the grand vision for 20. You had 19 years to figure this out, and you just sat there and just redid the Destiny plan with this, hey, it didn't work the first time, but we got the person that worked on it with Durandal, so it can happen again. She'll just learn from what he didn't do, and luckily we have a super secret country that you thought Orb was the most powerful country outside of the Federation and Zaft, or the Earth Alliance and Zaft, but no, it was actually this other one, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's like, really,
like, how did this go under the radar for so long?
It's just lazy. It's just lazy. I mean, I'm cool with the, like, after the large catastrophic, like, thing that happens. Like, I've always said, I'm good with the World War II movies. I don't need more World War II movies, but show me the stuff like the immediate aftermath. Yeah. Kind of like Godzilla -1. That's what kind of made that movie. It's like it kind of does on that. So, but I'm sitting there going, okay, it's just a rinse and repeat of the Destiny plan again, and that's your grand thing. So, it was lazy. I mean, it's just a lazy telling of a story. I mean, it's great to see these people and stuff, but I'm like, wow, this was the grand thing that was, everybody got excited. We thought was long dead, and then it got announced, and everybody was excited about, and it's like, it was Seed and Destiny's greatest hits.
Yeah,
I mean, it took from other things. It was so predictable. so predictable.
Yeah,
so predictable.
I love fucking character drama. I love it to death. But this movie didn't have it. It felt surface level. I'll try to speed run the rest of this real quick. Ingrid, and this movie had a incurable case of unrequited love down the line, going from Locus to Orphe to Ingrid. It's like, come on, man, this is a straight line. It's not even a love triangle. Come on, man, do better. And then the whole will they won't they situation between Kira and Locus as well. Where they conveniently walk in on each other at awkward moments where they're with other people who are just testing them and trying them and all that shit. If I was Kira, I would have decked the shit out of Orphe. I don't give a fuck about politics. I would have decked him the second he stepped to Locus. It would have been no question. But this man walks away like George McFly. It's like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Come on. But how do you?
Yeah, but she did the same exact thing though. She did the same exact thing. Right. When Agnes was hitting on him. It's like they both have the same issue.
I expect that response from her, but from him, no question. I'd have stepped into his grill piece. It'd have been done.
Actually, to be honest with you, the way that everything they went through in the prior 2 years, the fact that they're sitting there even questioning any of this stuff,
right?
It was just manufactured stupid drama that was never if you're gonna do something a little bit more developed. I mean,
it lacks soul. It lacks soul, man. It really felt mechanical, and it didn't really hit as well as it could have.
It was just a bad story. It's just bad story point.
Yeah,
it's just a bad story point.
Yeah, but what would have made more sense was that if they are since they've been together for that long, it would have made more sense that Locus is more pissed off at Kira throughout the entire movie because he's neglecting her ass, which he did at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I can understand her, accepting the attention of this other dude and all this other shit. Because, she's pissed off at him for not manning up.
That's lazy because he did it in the prior 2 shows too. So, I mean, it's not like she didn't know he was moody and distant at times.
It's part of his formula, I guess.
It's so stupid.
Yeah,
it's pretty stupid.
But I don't understand.
It was trying to make it a stupid, love triangle thing that really didn't need to be there. I mean, you could have, and you don't have to have a love triangle in this. Maybe just have a good story. I mean, maybe something.
Yeah.
At its core, it should have had that.
The political side, the strategic side. It is.
So what I don't understand is this. And Gundam Seed, I can understand why he's going through the whole moody shit because it's the first time you're a young kid, you're going through war, you all these emotions, all that shit. But he has that point, at the end of the show where he finally gets the resolve he needs, deals with all that bullshit. Destiny, he was perfectly fine. He was actually the voice of reason. He was the one that got people out, out of their dump, out of their, the shitty whatever, and brought them back up and crap. And then it seems like in this movie, he just reverts back to old Kira from Seed for no reason.
He even runs back to old Fit.
It made no sense. It made no sense.
He ran back to old Fit too.
Well, that's my point. It's just everything we've seen before.
Yeah.
This is full of things that we've already seen before. So,
all right, 3 quick things. How do you covertly rebuild the Destiny plan? I don't fucking understand that. Chris touched upon it perfectly, so I'm gonna just leave it right there. But yeah, that annoyed the fuck out of me when I saw that was the game plan. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Also,
I barely understood the original one.
Yeah. it's what's that shit that fucking Hydra had in Winter Soldier? What was the plane? Oh, Project Oversight or Project something. Yeah, exactly. Project Insight. Yes. It's Project Insight, but worse. That's what it is.
Well, it's kind of like mixture of that with eugenics and stuff like that.
You are correct.
So it's all over the place.
You are correct. Kigali and the coalition of the unwilling. I appreciated that scene, especially her face plant at the end. That's another positive I forgot to mention. Hisashi Harai, seeing his artwork again, it was kind of cool. I've never been crazy about his art style, but it was a good feeling about that. It was nice to see that. And then last but not least, the DT cameo. Blink and you'll miss him, and other cameos in this movie too. I was mad that DT wasn't a bigger part of this film. He should have been. I miss that guy.
At least give the guy some lines. He didn't even get lines.
No,
which is really kind of terrible.
Just a shot of him in Europe or whatever the fuck. My last thing.
You gave Arthur lines.
Right?
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Last thing. The sexual assault in this movie. Yo, Hilda grinded on, was that Marion she was grinding on, or was that
Luna Maria?
Luna Maria. Okay.
Luna Maria.
You know,
yeah.
I first
I meant the one about Locus. I thought you were
no, Locus too. Or if he grew up in Locus.
That was pretty, that was more cringe. That was cringier
crazy
than I think the other one.
I love Hilda. Hilda's like one of my favorite characters from Destiny, to be honest. And it looks like she might be she might be on the LGBTQ spectrum, so that's super cool. But it's like, yo, don't be ground up on somebody without being invited. But it is what it is. And that was more so of a kind of a what the fuck moment, I guess. But I'm gonna turn it back over to you guys. I'm mixed about this movie. I enjoyed it, but I also was like, yo, what is up with this package? I don't know.
We have a rating.
Yeah, we have a rating. Go back to you
Chris.
guys. Back to Chris. Go for it.
What turned you off? That hasn't been said.
There's way too much going on in this movie. You know, this really should have been a 2-part movie or an OVA series.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that they spend just a handful of minutes on a zapped coup that could have been an entire story of its own.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's just there as a minor footnote. There's no development at all for all these Foundation sickos. They're all entirely one-dimensional characters, and everything that they say and do is completely predictable. The Black Knights are just a generic sicko team of psychopaths that we've seen 1,000 times in Gundam, and they all get whooped at the end.
Yeah.
The returning characters, a lot of things just make no sense. Like, I don't get Shin's transformation from being this like dude who's so angry at Kira to now going the opposite direction and just having desperate pick me energy.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Isn't it because Kira said the magic line, which is "come with me," and that basically got Shin on. Shin was following him from that moment on.
I don't know. It's like nothing really
made sense.
Changes for Shin, and I would say, does this movie redeem him as a character? No. But, and as I'm sure Yahtzee will probably agree with me, it redeems the Destiny Gundam.
Yes.
Which, instead of getting whooped in the stupidest way possible, really gets to shine and be the Gundam that it was always meant to be.
Hell yeah! Finally.
Yeah, it definitely redeemed that.
Who's worse?
So that's kind of a.
Who's the better? The extended one, the extendeds from Gen 1 extendeds from Seed, or the accordions?
The accordions. The thing about the accords is they just have the gimmicks of their femtotech armor, which is not very well explained what that is. I'm sure you can read about it in the Gunpla manuals. And, their telepathy. But, like, once you hit upon the answer of be dumb and don't think, and they're not that hot. I feel like the both extended teams from Seed and Destiny were probably better pilots than these chumps.
Much better. Yeah.
The Seed ones were the best out of all. They did a whole lot more damage than these guys.
Oh yeah. They had a lot more. They had a lot more time, and they were pretty invincible up almost to the end, and it kind of made sense for most of them. They just ran out of power. But yeah, they had better
character development.
Well, it's also, I mean, you're talking about a series versus like a 2-hour movie, but still, it's outside of the gimmick stuff. I think they were better. Yeah.
So back to the returning characters, Kira and Lacus, they have just one of the worst relationships in Gundam. Like, I have never understood the romance between them. It is so terribly written. The fact that they don't even have an on-screen kiss until the epilogue of this movie, like, they never kiss in Seed or Destiny.
Oh,
on screen.
She kissed him on the cheek once.
but like lip to lip, you don't. It's like this. It's
Lip to
such
lip,
a
no.
weird romance. They are
Yeah.
so weird together. Like I never saw how they fit together. And here, like they're just both sad, mopey messes. You know, we had those scenes, as I mentioned earlier at the start of the conversation, that happened 5 minutes apart of Kira getting cucked twice by Orphe and just quietly, you know, just kind of walking away and being sad. And like I just don't get any of the things that they experience. I don't see how they're a couple. I don't see how they love each other. It's just really poorly written, and I don't know why this romance is so bad.
They probably never smashed, to be honest.
You know,
there's no way.
I don't know, but it's really weird, and the dialogue involving them, all the dialogue about love and it's so cringe. It's so terrible. It's laughably bad.
Which is
Destiny
funny.
Plan.
Yeah, go for it. Go
ahead.
No, which is funny because in Seed we got to see sex and Gundam for the first time with Flay and everything, and it's like, man, I know that Lacus is a very chaste character, but after being with her for years, there could be some emotion or affection being shown. You know, it's not like she has to stay kind of like in a sealed plastic bag the whole goddamn movie, but it is what it is. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
She's like a perfect little Barbie.
Yeah.
Destiny Plan. So, you know, once I'm watching this movie and I see like, oh, we're doing Destiny Plan version 2. I felt like that moment in the end of Macross Delta.
Ooh.
You find out that the villain's big plan is to just repeat Macross Frontier.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're just doing the same thing again that didn't work the last time, but for sure it's going to work this time.
That sinking feeling you feel when you realize.
You know, and retconning of things in this movie makes no sense, because if Durandal and Aura designed the Accords, of which Lacus is one of them, to be the managers of the Destiny Plan, and why did he try to launch the Destiny Plan without the Accords? And why did he try to have Lacus assassinated if she was one of the people needed for this plan?
Oh,
how does that make any sense?
No one said it was a good plan at the end.
Oh, it makes no sense.
Because it's just forced in there. It's just a forced, stupid plot point that's like, oh, this is cool because it's being lazy.
So let me ask you this: did they have? Was there some type of script ready or done prior to this guy's wife passing away?
No.
We have no idea how far.
Dude, he's got 19 years to figure it out.
She still has script credits, so
I'm
sure some part of it is her work.
Oh,
but
that explains
I have
a
no
lot.
idea of really knowing how much.
That's probably why. And that's probably why a lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense to us.
Oh, shit.
Because
Okawara said that most of the mobile suit designs that he did were way at the start of the project, and they just sat on the shelf for many years. So who knows? This is just some dusty old script that they blew the dust off of, or
he didn't make changes to the script. Then that's probably it.
Who knows? We don't know. And a lot of anime productions, well, most anime productions are very tight-lipped about these kind of behind-the-scenes stuff. They don't talk about these stories until many, many years later, if at all. So I don't know if we'll ever know, to what extent his wife plotted out this whole story.
If this movie had came out 15 years ago, would this have been acceptable?
No.
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 It's still bad. It's still just a rinse and repeat. Just greatest hits of all the cool little scenes and all these other. I mean, I'd be the same way. I'd probably be worse back then. I'd probably be like, this is because it was so closer. This is so far removed, and I haven't seen Destiny in years. So, it's just bad. It doesn't matter. I don't think the the time difference really. I think that it probably makes people like it more. Actually, I think the
nostalgia
distance
effect
between
of,
it. Yeah, I think that's more of the thing.
If you loved Seed and Destiny 20 years ago and you were just desperate for more, and you see all these people come back, and you might be more forgiving towards it than if it had come out earlier. And I think that even extends to me, because I'm not a fan of the mess that Destiny turned into, but there are elements of this movie that I do like, and I do feel possibly that in my old age I was slightly more lenient on this movie than I would have been if I'd have been reviewing it 15 years ago. But we'll get to that.
I would have ripped.
Oh,
I would have completely ripped this apart after the debacle of freaking Destiny. The first 13 episodes that were like, God damn, this is much better than Seed. Goes completely sideways. Then the ending's so bad that we have to come back a few more months with, oh no, that's not really the ending. This is the ending. And then this came out like a year or two later, I'd have been like, please, negative 42 stars. So this thing actually, I think the 19 years and the nostalgia of it, the fact that it felt so good to see all the characters we liked back and all the cool mobile suits. I think it gives it. I think that's why I know with my rating, as badly as I'm talking about it, my probable rating's really not going to be like atrocious. So,
what else about this movie is wrong? Too many people in it, like just way too many people.
Yeah,
a lot of people just doing nothing. A lot of people just popping up in like blink and you miss it cameos.
Yep.
At various points, including one of the most useless characters ever, Kuzey Buzzkirk.
Yes.
But even the characters that do get to do stuff, like I was always a fan of Muru and Mu pairing, and I like their story. And the two of them, Mu in particular, have very little to do in this movie. Muru, just there at the beginning of the movie, supervising the downfall of the Archangel, and then at the end, she gets to be the captain of the Millennium, stepping in. But Mu has very little to do other than, doing one thing with Yakatsuki and then being a delivery boy for Shin. Like, that's what the Hawk of Endymion's been reduced down to, just being a delivery boy. Fucking Shin Asuka.
He's the blocker of the beam and a delivery boy.
Yes.
Like,
to be honest, he shouldn't even be there in general.
He should be a ghost.
Whatever. But the thing is, he is there. But in some ways, I was like, oh, he just sat there. I'm like, he just made a joke about himself having to sit there and do this again, and he hates doing it. Like,
he made the impossible possible again.
Yeah. I almost was like, just don't give him lines. Just DT him. Like, if you're gonna do this, you're not gonna give him good lines. Just don't do it. It's just bad. Yeah,
what would you have done,
Chris.
I would have rather that we had less new characters and maybe a bit more focus on some of the existing characters. It would have been nice to see a bit more of Izak and Diarca to find out
definitely
what they've been up to on their side with Zaft and the whole like Zaft coup.
That to me is actually that would have probably, if you were to distill this down to like one storyline and make it the actual movie, I think the Zaft coup would have been probably the better thing. You probably would have needed 2 movies, but still, I think that was probably, of all the things that was kind of slapped in front of us in this, that was probably the more interesting thing to me.
Like, I feel like if you had some remnant, like some hardcore extremists in Zaft who were like, no, we're going to try the Destiny plan again on our own, that to me would make more sense of, we're these genetically super engineer people you never heard of before, and we're going to do it. just sounds like a load of bullshit. And the idea of like coordinators are already supposed to be so fancy, and then you had Kira, who's the ultimate coordinator, and it's like, but no, there's these new super secret people who are even stronger and more awesome than he ever was, and they're just gonna whoop everybody's asses until the very end of the movie. It's like, it's just so incredibly cliche. And just because a story uses a cliche element, that doesn't in and of itself make it bad. It really matters how you use those elements together to present them in a more interesting way. And this movie doesn't present any of those cliches in a more interesting way. And it definitely shows for it, because it's, like I said, it's too much stuff and too many people for just 1 2-hour movie. And I think they had known in advance that this movie would be so ridiculously successful. I think that they would have split this up into 2 movies, but they probably had no way of knowing that Seed nostalgia would be so strong that this movie would have had such an incredible box office run for many months in Japan. And maybe now they'll scramble to make another story, or they'll just have the new Astray series do dropped plot point cleanup duty like the previous Astrays have done with Seed and Destiny. So we'll have to wait and see.
Do you think it'd be more interesting if they did something like more of a prequel type thing where you explain like the Bloody Valentine incident and all this other stuff in greater detail?
How about somebody actually just fucking explain Evidence 1?
Yeah.
I would love that too.
What the importance of Evidence 1 was that was so hyped up in Seed. Or how about, and here's a crazy idea, how about actually giving a reasonable explanation for what Seed mode is and why some people have it?
Yeah, man.
Did
and you don't have to be a coordinator.
Back? Exactly.
True.
What?
Did they ever show Marco in the movie or no?
You mean Reverend Malchio?
Yeah, the blind guy. Yes, that guy.
I don't remember.
Kira in his church, but he wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Oh.
He wasn't there.
I guess you could do. The only problem is prequels are never really that great, and they're always tough to do. I think if you're going to do anything, I think the Remnants storyline that Chris said, it's cliche. It follows Zeta, but you have it closer to after the fact of the the conflict, and it, like he says, it makes more sense that you would have hardcore Zaft people into the Destiny plan instead of somebody else that just doesn't,
I think honestly though, like
in the game,
Cosmic Era Universe does have some potential, and early Astray stuff was good. I think, and this would not happen with Fukuda helming the story, but because he's so obsessed with Kira and Lacus and everything, if you did a story that was like 100 years in the future and all of these people are just dead and buried and nothing at all has to do with them or is about them or mentions them, you could probably get a decent story out of that.
I agree. He could have dug a lot deeper than he did when it came to the dynamics and whatnot, and they just chose not to. They just kept it all surface level, man. It's a little disappointing.
They kept it very simple for this movie, just to make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the case. I think they were just happy to get the green light, and like Chris said, if they really knew they were going to make the amount of money they did, they would have broken this up a lot more.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
That's it for me on my issues.
So I echo all the issues, and I think the biggest problem that I have is, in the end, what does this really do? Like, was there really a need for this? I mean, I sat there and I'm like, okay, I know it was fulfilling a wish and all this other stuff, but it doesn't really make me be like, oh, I have to go back to Seed and Seed Destiny to watch them. Like, in some ways, it's like, ugh, all right, this happened. I really don't need to go back to it. I think something like this, you want it where it's a coherent statement or a coherent story, but it also makes you want to go back to the source material. And I just feel like Chris said, and I think the rest of you said, it's just too many people, too many ideas all over the place. You know, we're all speculating on why it ended up being this way, but the thing is, it did end up being this way. And what did it really work on outside of the fact of nostalgia? I think that's really what it is. It tried to see like the oh shit factor, like, oh my god, they talked about this, you know, 19 years ago, and we thought it would never happen. Now it's finally happening. We got it kind of. It's almost that curiosity of like, you know. So I sometimes wonder if that's even the, you know, in some ways the box office and all that skewed because it's just kind of like the, you know, the car accident factor, you know.
Exactly.
So, but
so I'm curious on you, like after all you've said so far, when you saw the Code Geass movie, did it make you go want to watch Code Geass seasons 1 and 2 over again?
Some ways, but I think also because it was so much, it was so much closer to the actual, you know, the ending of those stories. So I mean, with this one, it's just, I think it's the distance. Like I said, I agree with Chris. I think if this would have came out 2 or 3 years after Destiny, oh my god, it would have been just savage. I think we would have been just savage on it because it'd have been like, wait a second, this is what you gave us, like. But now it's like, okay, it was like I said. Well, what's the one thing that all 4 of us said? It was cool to see the band back together.
Yeah,
didn't mean they played great. But it was cool to see them back together. Hey, what got announced? What band got announced that's coming back together? Oasis.
Oh yeah!
Everybody's gonna want to see them.
Yo, the impossible is possible now.
But still, the thing is, they may sound like absolute shit.
They might.
The fact that they got together because you never thought they would get back together. It's the same thing with this.
We never thought we'd see it.
This thing was announced. It languished for years. Never thought. What was it? 2 years ago, it kind of popped up. Oh, it's coming. It's happening, and it's like, okay, and then it happened. So
I thought you were going to be mentioning Linkin Park instead.
Yeah, which as Ed writes in the chat,
which is hard because one of the guys is dead.
Yeah, they got a new vocalist, and they're doing a song for Transformers 1. So they got a song in that movie. So it looks like they're back and cooking, man. There's a lot of research. Next thing you know, you're gonna tell me Daft Punk is getting back together, man. That's never happened. That's never happened.
Yeah. But yeah. No, I mean, I mean it's just I think nostalgia factor plays big on this one.
Yeah,
and
it did.
I think all of us can agree with that because we all know it. So let's do our ratings. Anything else on this? Any other points? No.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to put a pin in this.
All right. So on the famous MAHQ scale from 0 to 5, we'll have you start off, Austin. Usually it's we take a plot point or something that happens, so you can always say like, I'll give this 5 sigh and you blinks out of 5 or something like that. But or Kuze's. But what would be your rating for Gundam Seed Destiny Freedom?
A 3.5. Agnes needs some loves from some random person. How's that?
There you go.
There you go.
Soul Bro.
Oh man. I'm gonna go straight down the middle. I'm gonna give this 2.5 space whales out of 5. Matter of fact, to get that 0.5 space whale, I had to run to my car and go get my chainsaw and cut the head off that space whale and take it home. If you follow the insanity that's American politics, you got that reference. But but other than that, yeah, 2.5 space whales out of 5, man. Where were they? Where were evidence 1, man? I need answers.
Chris?
I'm going to give this one, 2024 Chris is going to give this movie 3 ill-advised romances out of 5.
Wow.
And Otts Chris would have given this 2.5.
Yeah, so bro, what would you have given it back in the? Because you gave it a 2.5, so you're pretty low.
Yeah. What would I given it back in the day? Yo, I probably would have been mad. I probably been mad as fucking. I probably would have given it a 2, maybe a 1.5, depending on how I was feeling after spending money and seeing this in the theater. But it wouldn't have been as long as of a wait. But at that time, we would have still been. We also would have been consuming Gundam 00 and a bunch of other shows that we were watching at that time, like Macross and whatnot. We had some good stuff back then. So this will be in direct contrast with that. We hadn't entered the world yet with Reconquista in G and Gundam Age. We hadn't seen them yet, so we'd have definitely hit this with a harder fucking scale. Let me tell you, it'd have been rough times for this, at least for me anyway.
A lot of qualification on that one.
There you go.
Old me would have given this 2 Reconquistas then.
Ooh, that's rough.
I'm gonna give this 3 DTs out of 5. That's probably more than what actually he showed up in the movie.
Damn.
Yeah, the old me probably would have given it probably 1 or 1.5. Why is Muo still alive? Out of 5. So, yeah.
You're 1 helmet out of 5.
Definitely. Huh?
What would you
one
what
helmet
would you have done
float?
if they killed him off?
Oh, go ahead.
What would you have done if they killed him off in this one again?
I was gonna say 1 helmet floating in the wreckage of space out of 5.
At this point, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It was just. I actually would have felt better for him. I probably would have given it a higher thing. It's like at least you put him out of his misery, kind of like the Archangel. They don't have to survive to the next thing.
Nope.
So I mean, like I said, it was bittersweet for the Archangel. It's like it should have had a better ending.
Like how...
it would have had a better. It should have had a better ending on there. But I feel bad. I feel better that it didn't have to suffer through the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to see it go through all that crap.
Oh. So,
man. But all right.
Oh, did Chris give his? I might have missed it. Chris, did you give your review? Your...
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay. Fix my face.
Yeah, you gave it a 3.
Oh,
you gave it a 3, and I think you gave it what, like a 2.
I gave it 2.5.
Old Chris would have gave it like 1.5, 2.
Oh yeah, man.
Depending.
Rough times.
So I gave the highest review for this movie.
You did, man. Good on you, man. You are changed.
3.5, bro.
You are a changed man. Who knew? Who knew? You love Capcom now, and now you're giving good reviews. You're slacking. I thought you was hard.
You know what? I pre-ordered the Marvel Fighting Collection.
Oh well, me too. I'm not even going front.
Yeah, I had to. It's like that's the one thing. That's the one good thing Capcom ever made.
Yo, man. Oh, wait. This SNK versus Capcom collection just got announced too. That's getting pre-ordered as soon as
I'm gonna pre-order that next week.
Yo, it's good times, man. We in the good timeline again. Out of the 14 million, we back.
All right.
We'll see in November.
Indeed.
Anything before we get on out of here?
Yeah, I want to give extreme props to one of our long time listeners. I'm talking about Flip the Script era listeners who's in the chat right now watching live from Japan. My boy Snoop619, Alex Benson. He's on lunch break. He also had the alias of Super Limey Man. He's watching over there. Props to everybody who came out tonight. You guys came out in force. Again, please hit the thumbs up button if you like this episode. If you feel like responding in the comments after this episode is saved and archived on the YouTube, by all means, we could definitely use the the tracking activity as well. So if you guys want to comment, please, by all means, I'm pretty sure we're going to get those. And one thing else, Netflix, if you're listening, lean in real close, man. Never put a anime on your service again without Japanese language. Don't fucking do it. I was upset. I wanted to see this movie in Japanese after seeing it in the theater in English. I know that was my mistake, but I expected better from you.
Makes you think it's Netflix's fault.
Yeah, but once you put this on the service, you need to make sure it's got Japanese. Fight harder for this. It could be Sunrise, and Sunrise, I'm looking at you too. You fucked up.
Hey,
back to you.
So, bro,
yes.
I haven't. Mr. Netflix just called me.
Oh shit!
Actually, he texted me.
Yo,
and
read?
He says,
Mm-hmm.
"We don't care, and we're at the mercy of the source of the people that give us this stuff. So if they don't want it, it's that's what happens.
Foiled
so don't
again.
Get pissed off at me, and." We have 14,000 other animes to release in the next 2 weeks.
Word.
So, whatever.
Oh, I have to hold that L real close to the chest.
Oh, he came back. If you're really that pissed off about this, why don't you start an online petition? So,
yo, I'll start that along with the one for the Acolyte. I'll do that both. Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're listening. Yeah, they definitely care.
Yo, props to Rob. Robin, he says Pluto had Japanese audio. Well, I fucking love Pluto. But yeah, man, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, man. I was really wanting to finally get to see this in Japanese, and I'm sure the Japanese audio track will eventually become available. So I'll just have to I have to have patience. But that's my additional things until I give the websites. But go ahead.
So we buying this on Blu-ray or what?
I'm probably not.
No.
I got to get Macross first. That's for sure.
Not everything needs to be on physical media. So, Chris, anything from MHQ before Silbro gives us the websites and all that?
No.
All right,
shit.
Silbro, tell them where they can reach us.
Oh, you guys know the places, man. MAHQ.net, man. Go there, hit the favorites button. Make sure to check back on the regular. There's a lot of great content going up there, articles. And Chris, did you finally you had your appearance on that podcast you were going to be going on?
Yes, I was on Giant Robot FM to talk about Super Robot Wars Original Generation, the animation, episode 1. And that is in their public feed now, so go check it out and give them a listen. And if you like them, go support them on their Patreon.
Absolutely. You guys can see the link on the screen for Giant Robot FM. If you guys never checked out their podcast, they joined us on this show a couple of episodes ago. I think episode 290 or 291. So definitely check out that episode if you haven't already. But also make sure to check out their podcast in general. They do great in-depth reviews and discussions about mecha anime. So definitely don't miss out. And thank you guys for shout out to Chris for being on the episode, man. That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, General Hate, for coming out. I'm sure it'll be a couple hundred more episodes before we have you back. So
thank you for having me.
Couple hundred.
Well, that's what it was the last
199
time.
episodes since the last time he was on the show. Apparently, that's insane.
Yeah, so 200 episodes.
And you want to tease up what we got going on next? You don't have to tell them what we're doing, but I mean,
300.
Yeah, man.
We might as well just tell them.
Yeah.
Let's just tell them.
Go for it.
Let's just tell them the truth. All right, so
we're doing Zoids.
Yes,
and we're doing Zoids. Yes, goodbye. Thank you. We wanted to really tell them.
Yeah, by all means.
No.
Might as well.
No, I don't think. No,
they're gonna find out when I put up the thing. So
that's fine. That's you know what a tease is, right?
God damn it!
We're teasing, so keep looking at all those places that Solbro said.
I'll say this.
You can find us on.
I won't spoil this, but
no, don't say anything.
I know. Hold on.
Don't say it. You're gonna spoil it.
I'm gonna give him a hint.
So just no, you don't need to give him a hint.
All right.
The hint is keep looking at all of the social media and all that other stuff for it. You can give them an early hint. Maybe start if you want to play around and start giving them some hints. Between now and then, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, come on, man.
All right,
let's do this right. The big thing is it's episode 300.
All right,
there you
go. Done. Good, gotcha.
Man, come on, you gotta do your inner Don Draper. I mean, come on. Picture this.
Don Draper of all people. Good shit.
Picture this.
Picture
episode
this.
300.
I'm more of a Peggy guy.
What it will be, it's gonna be something unexpected.
Yes.
Picture this: the ennui of a rich, successful white man who feels very sad.
Yes.
I call it the Don Draper story.
Indeed.
Yes. Exactly.
So sad.
Which will be episode 300. So
we're talking about Mad Men, guys. Thank you and good night.
Yeah. We're changing formats. We're changing formats. We're going to murder. We're going to become a murder podcast.
Yes. That's what's hot in the streets.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out. You'll see us in a few weeks for episode 300. Thank you.
Ha さすが私専用のコックピットシートだ。見事に私を支えてくれる。
大佐、敵がそこまで。急いで。
分かっている。1.2 リッター直噴ターボとはな。
オイスが私の心に触った感じなんです。
さらにできるようになったな。オイス。ジオニックトヨタ。
It's a very big, epic sci-fi movie. This isn't a movie with a bunch of lines running around the page. We're not giving feet to the geometric shapes. Schnepp, are you excited for a Tetris movie?
Don't lie now.
I like shapes.
I like moving shapes around and fitting them into other shapes. But that's not a movie, all right? This is idiotic. We've reached a new low where we have some executive explaining, we're not putting feet on the shapes, but it's shapes. It's like, come up with another, why even Tetris? Philbix, Gromlower, Scrimbix. There's a brand new title. You don't have to pay for the IP. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm adapting a brand new movie. It's called Breakout. It's about some dudes in a rainbow prison. It's like, come on. Dennis, they're not putting feet on the shapes.